In my line of work, I deal with antiquities. Silver, brass, copper, pewter, bronzes, gold. All kinds from newer to hundreds and hundreds of years old. I just love the history end of it. That's damaged, that I need to do a little bit of work on here. Someone saw this piece and saw the potential of this piece, this one beautiful, in my eyes, beautiful piece of silver. And they said, I know a guy who can do the restoration on this. And when they brought this to me, I looked at this and I could see, in my mind's eye, I could see the completed product. And so I started to approach the restoration process. I did my research. I found the man who did it. And now I get into his mind. One of the first things I need to do in a restoration is to identify the piece as far as its origin, its content, its maker, it's the year it was made. And I do this by identifying these series of little marks on here. In the center here is the little letters. It says HC. And this maker, and I've already looked it up, is for Henry Chauners. He was a silversmith in London, England. During the year 1792, he made this out of sterling silver under the reign of King George III. And this is an awesome piece. If this could speak, it would just, the history, where it's been. How did it get here from London, England to Seattle area? How did it get here? Someone loved this. They cared for it. The man who made it, the silversmith, that was his desire. When he created this, when he created it, it started out in his mind. And he applied his techniques, his God-given techniques, to this flat sheet of metal. And he started to shape it and mold it and craft it and cut it and fit the spout on, fit the ferrules for the handle, the lid, the finials. He hand-carved it, hand-carved the basswood handle for this piece, and then presented it to its new owner. And he was proud. He was proud of this piece. He was thrilled when he saw the look on the face of the person who accepted it. But as time went on, that original owner since passed away. It was passed down, it passed down, it passed down through generations. Eventually, when it got to the point of disrepair. As time went on even further, it got to this state where it's seemingly undesirable for some folks. Some would look at this and go, well, this is garbage. What would you want this for? You know, this old piece of junk, why don't you just scrap it? A lot of what I do on a piece when I'm doing a restoration is done internally. And so I will do a lot of my work from the inside. And so much of that is done on the inside primarily because I don't want to damage the outside. Now, I do need to do some planishing and work on the outside, but most of it is done internally. And then it winds up showing externally as time goes on, as I continue to work the metal. During the restoration process, a piece like this, if this were human, it would be screaming at times because of some of the things that I have to do to it. I may have to take and I may have to cut, and this particular one I will, I'll have to cut the spout off. I'll have to get it onto my mandrels and doll heads, and I'll be hammering on this thing. And to remove and planish out the surface that has irregularities in it. I'll be getting on the interior with this with my torch. Because of that lead that's in there, I've got to get in there with my torch and I've got to heat this thing up and totally remove all that lead in there. Because then when I go to fix it again, now I'm going to be doing some internal and external soldering at that point. I'm going to be getting this area up to 1400 degrees Fahrenheit in order for the metals to flow back together once again. At that point, I've discolored it. It comes out looking chalky white. It's just, most people at that point would go, what in the world have you just done to that? I can see that this piece finished. I get to that point and I look at it and it's like, awesome. This now is back into the condition that its creator originally intended.